Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Tuesday, the 18th of March 2025. In today's Mill News, the under-21s played today. They played away at Ipswich, and what an eventful night, shall we say. They didn't win. But they didn't lose. Hey, it was a draw, but the worst kind of draw in that they were winning 3-1 in the 90th minute, and in injury time they conceded 2 goals. Yeah, that kind of bad kind of draw. So this is the match report from a pretty decent website called twtd.co.uk. It's an independent Ipswich Town kind of fanzine site. They have all kinds of stuff, forum. I think it's mostly a forum, but they do a lot of news as well. So they've got the match report up already. They put it up at 9:10, right after the game ended. So, wow, dedication for you there. So, under-21, so obviously this is written from the point of view of Ipswich. Under-21s net twice in injury time to grab point against Millwall. Abubi and Chukwu, bless you, netted a 96-minute equaliser as Town's under-21s came from 3-1 down as the game went into injury time to claim a dramatic 3-3 draw. The Lions were 1-0 in front at half-time and added to their lead just after the restart before sub Afi Adebayo pulled one back for the Blues. The visitors restored their 2-goal advantage, but skipper Tommy Taylor scored on 91 and then Emakhu grabbed a battling point 6 minutes into injury time. Town included trialist centre-half Max Kuczynski, 18-year-old currently with Arsenal's academy, who operates at left-back and has been with the Gunners since he was 12. Born in London, he's eligible to represent Poland, England and Jamaica land at international level. The Blues had the ball in the net in the 4th minute through right-sided for number 4? Tudor Mendel. But with the referee having already stopped play for a foul, Matt Roberts and Lions keeper George Evans. Roberts took the free kick, which deflected wide of the wall. Town saw most of the ball early on, but neither side had been able to carve out a chance until the 14th minute when Charlie Compton struck a low effort from distance on the right, which gave Evans little trouble. Despite having shown little in the final third up to them, Millwall took the lead in the 18th minute. Sheldon Kendall cutting from the right side and smashed a strike from just outside the area across Charlie Binns into the Town goal and inside the far post. What they don't mention there, took a heavy deflection, so a bit lucky. 2 minutes later, Town should have levelled. Tudor Mendel was played in on goal on the right of the box, appeared to have taken the ball past Evans, but the keeper managed to get a hand to it and it cannoned off the former and elect winger's shins and bounced wide. On 24 minutes, Mendel made a strong run towards the edge of the area to the left before hitting a shot across Evans and just beyond the far post, the ball clipping a Millwall player on its way. Soon after, Edwin Agbaji, playing right centre-half as he continues his comeback from injury, slid in to make an important challenge as Millwall number 9 Jaden Celestine Charles broke towards the area. Just after the half-hour mark, the Lions broke quickly after Town had been unable to find a way through at the other end, and Kendall wasn't far away from finding the right corner of Binns' right post for a second time. A minute later, Ollie Evans headed just past Binns' left post, having been found unmarked at a corner. Yeah, that should have won it. Was it Ollie Evans? I thought it was Jed Dyer. That was like a free header, like that. I don't know how you didn't even get that on target. Like that was, man, you got a free header. It wasn't challenged, like just in space, and he didn't get it. It wasn't zipped in. It was like kind of floated in as well. But yeah, should have done better with that. Mill threatened again in the 37th minute. Binns palming a low cross from the right against Agbaji, and momentarily it looked on its way over the line until it was cleared. Soon after, Kendall shot well over from distance. With 4 minutes of the half remaining, Mendel was sent away on the right and might have driven into the area, but instead cut inside and played to number 9, Jamie Moge, on the left of the box, but the striker, who's currently on loan at Bury Town, was unable to find the space to shoot. See, Bury Town, I believe, is in Suffolk area. It's not actually in Bury in Manchester. That was the Blues' last opportunity of a half in which they had started positively, but without seriously threatening before going behind to Mill's first chance, albeit an excellent strike. Mendel was unable to take a very good opportunity to level for Town, but after that the Blues laboured while the visitors had a number of opportunities to increase their lead. Town withdrew trialist Kudzinski, bringing on Fraser Hurd ahead of the second half, while the visitors made an enforced change, Jet Dyer having picked up a knock just before the break. George Beaumont took over. Yeah, but I think they changed it around. I think Jet Dyer was playing as a centre-back, and then I think they moved... Was it Ollie Evans was playing left-back? They moved him into the centre-half role, and then George Beaumont was playing left-back. 9 minutes after the restart, with neither side having managed a chance, the Blues swapped Mendel for Adebayo. A minute later, Mill doubled their lead. Blues midfielder Stephen Turner slipped in possession just outside the area to the right, and Celestine Charles took it on and shot past Binns to the keeper's left. On 59 minutes, Somto Boniface, who joined Town from Chelsea's youth setup in January, burst down the left into the area, but his shot was blocked. The resultant corner led to another flag kick. Another corner on the right, which reached Agbaji at the back post, but the defender was unable to get enough on the ball. Town, who had been very much second best since the break, swapped right back Leon Elliott for Emakhu in the 64th minute, and a minute later the Blues pulled a goal back. Moge might have been played in on goal, but the pass was behind him, but the striker swept it out wide to sub Adebayo on the right of the box, from where he shot across Evans and into the corner of the net. In the 68th minute, Celestine Charles was found on the right of the area, but Binns was able to smother the front man's effort from a tight angle, and the loose ball was cleared. 3 minutes later, Ollie Evans stabbed wide at Binns' left post after a free kick was floated into the area. And in the 74th minute, the visitors sealed the 3 points. Well, they didn't, so I guess someone wrote this before the end of... They were writing it up before the end of the game, and they didn't change it. Kendall was allowed to cut onto his left foot from the right again. This time Binns saved, but Celestine Charles followed up to slam it into the roof of the net off the keeper. The goal scorer subsequently made way, Cavalli Hayward taking over. Then on 78, Luke Towler took over from Turner, while Boniface underwent treatment for a knock, but was okay to continue. The sub created an opening for Morge on 81, but the forward shot was blocked behind ahead of the corner kick, which Hurd nodded into keeper Evans' arms. Kendall was switched for Elias Mansour. Half-time sub Beaumont shot wide from distance for the Lions, who were seeing the game out confidently against the Town team, which had struggled to cause them too many defensive problems all game. Of course, in the first of 6 minutes of added time on, 6 minutes, Town skipper Taylor pulled a goal back. The forward, who was recently included as a sub in the FA Cup at Nottingham Forest, deftly slipping under keeper Evans, having made a great run onto Matty Roberts' excellent pass. As the Blues pushed for an equaliser, Mill broke twice and been saved first from Frankie Baker and then from Alfie Massey. And in the 6th and final minute of injury time, Ipswich Town levelled. Moge's low shot from a tight angle was saved by Evans, but from the corner the ball was played short to Boniface, who crossed to the far post and sub Emakhu shot through a crowd of players into the net. It was a bit of a pinball. We can watch it now, actually. I don't know if it's going to come up. So this is
taken short by Third
goal.
Somto Boniface makes his way into the box.
Binzi.
Oh, it's not the funny goal. Equaliser for Ipswich. A Boomer and Emakhu in the 96th.
Nightmare. There was only time to take a free kick before the referee ended the game, which had looked like a comfortable Millwall victory until the dying seconds. Town had been second best for much of the game, having gone behind, but despite not being at their best, kept going with Roberts' excellent pass, setting up Taylor, who finished clinically. The Blues maintained the pressure in the closing moments, and with Binns having made a couple of important stops from Mill counter-attacks, eventually forced the chance, which Emakhu, a summer signing from Aston Villa, turned home to claim a point, which had seemed hugely unlikely only a few minutes later. And the Millwall team was George Evans, Scott Smith, Ollie Evans, Massey, Taylor, Dyer, Howland, Lamptey, Celestine Charles, Baker, Kendall, and the subs were Beaumont on for Dyer at half-time, Whitby on for Lamptey in the 85th minute, Hayward on for Celestine Charles in the 75th minute, and Mansour on for Kendall in the 81st minute, and the unused subs was Dylan Dyer, the sub-goalkeeper. What can you say? I was there. I travelled all the way up to Ipswich, and what do you know? So it's 3-1, 90th minute, I'm dying for a piss. Go down and have a piss. And as I'm doing that, I hear the noise. Uh-oh, what's that? 3-2. Because it was full of Ipswich. There's loads of fans there, loads. Full of Ipswich fans. I think it was 1 or 2 mil. But loads of Ipswich. So they made the noise. I was like, oh, fuck, 3-2. Come out the toilet, go up to the thing, to go back up into the stands to watch out the game. And then I see the goal that you've just seen now. 3-3. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What the hell? So, what else can you say? Smith was fantastic, but in terms of his movement of the ball, keeping the ball, maintaining possession of the ball, Carl Smith, right back, fantastic. But I think he's outgrown this level in terms of, he should really be playing men's football. But, he was injured. I think he was injured for like 3 or 5 months. So, that kind of meant he couldn't get loaned out this season. He's just come back. He's like 3 or 4 games back. So, and I would say, I don't like saying things like this, but Alfie Massey, I mean, not only him, but there's others as well. Like, just constantly mispassing it. Just passes were just wrong choices. Played too short. Running, trying to dribble somewhere, and then just run into a dead end and getting stripped of the ball. And oops, there's a counter attack, and everyone has to sprint back because everyone went forward because you're on the ball. It's like, oh, are we attacking now? Oh, well, we were. And then you give the ball away, and we're panic stations, and we have to run back. So yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good at all. But other than that, Baker had a tough old time. I think it said in the match, but I think the number 4, which I think was Agbaji, he's like a grown man. I think he's like a first team player coming back, and he went up against Baker, and he's a foot taller than him, and he was like giving a rough old time, which kind of like prevented the kind of long ball really. So I guess if that cuts out the long ball and you have to play it short, if you play the more short balls you play, you're probably gonna give a few of them away. So that probably affected it. But yeah, rough. What a sickener. 3-1 up in 90th minute. Oh, let's just say it ain't over till the fat lady sings. So there you go. Now, it's not that bad of a result. Well, it is a bad result. It's a bad result, but it's not that bad of a result because today, as mentioned yesterday, Charlton, if we click on this, Charlton played today, And they lost. They lost at home to Bournemouth. So they did not get any points today. We got 1 point by drawing it away at Ipswich. And, our away form, to be fair, it's not that good, really. Most of our home form is insanely excellent. Away form, not so much. So, should have won, but, at least we got the point. So what that means now, we have a game in hand on Charlton, and we're only 1 point behind. So fantastic stuff. Now Bournemouth do have 3 games in hand on Charlton, but if they win all them, that only gives them 46, which is how many points we have. So that's not too bad, but it's very tight up there. You can see. And we got a game on Friday. Is it listed here? I have to click on the next. So we've got a game on Friday at Calmont Road and the training ground, because there's going to be some first team players involved. Apparently, according to Alex Neil, Ryan Leonard, he's back. He's back from injury, building up his fitness. You imagine he's going to be playing in that game, so that should be fun. And maybe a few other first team players as well. But there you go. So, yep. What a letdown. Anyway, I will say it's the first time I've been to Ipswich in a long time. Been there before. Thing I remember is the wooden seats. The wooden seats are gone. They've spent a lot of money doing it up. It looks very nice now. A lot of flashing lights and shit like that. Bright blue seats, safe standing. So, there you go. Now, moving on to this from southwarknews.co.uk. Alex Neil still managing Millwall wingers' minutes. Manage those minutes. Alex Neil confirmed he substituted Emakhu off during Mill's 1-0 win against Stoke City on Saturday, March the 15th, because the Irish winger was tired, and said he intended to continue to manage his minutes. Emakhu was a threat throughout the 73 minutes he was on the pitch, leading the team in shot creating actions, progressive carries, and successful take-ons. He came close to creating the opener a number of times, putting in a cross that Jake Cooper headed just wide in the first half, and putting a ball into the box that Josh Coburn nearly got on the end of to tap into the gaping nets. The 21-year-old looked noticeably fatigued as the second half went on, and was eventually withdrawn for Aaron Connolly in the 73rd minute. Emakhu has only started 2 games since returning from a groin injury on February the 15th, and Neil wants to make sure he does not re-injure himself. "I was just tired," Neil said after the game. "I think everybody expects Adamo to rattle out all these games, and, Adamo's never done that in his entire career. Normally, if you play Adamo more than two times a week, or even 3 times a week, he breaks down, hence the reason why he's not starting anywhere near enough games. We just need to manage his minutes, get what we can out of him, but as soon as, he's tired, I thought he was flagging today, came off. I thought Aaron Connolly had a great impact in the game when he came on as well. And we've got loads of lads that are ready to go." So there you go. Do not get your players injured. Do not let them get injured. Now, moving on to this. Interesting. Pressandjournal.co.uk. A Scottish newspaper, and I should say. Scotland seems nice, judging by these stories on the right hand side. Flasher locked up after the videos of him pleasuring himself around Peterhead, found on phone. Lovely. Aberdeen, let's get back to the main story though, that we were interested in, not the dirty old pervert in Peterhead. Aberdeen in pole position to make Kevin Nisbet loan move permanent. Millwall podcaster believes return to Scottish football this summer suits his club and Don's loan striker. Okay. The door is open for Aberdeen to make Kevin Nisbet's move from Millwall permanent. The on-loan striker has hit form at Pittodrie, and his 10-goal return for the Dons this season has led to Aberdeen boss Jimmy Thielen not ruling out the prospect of Nisbet's move to the club becoming permanent. That Millwall podcast contributor Omar Ronayne would not be surprised to see Nisbet, whose form has earned him a place in Steve Clarke's Scotland squad for this week's UEFA Nations League playoff doubleheader against Greece, move on from the English Championship club this summer. Ronayne said, he's got another year left on his contract, so we're hoping the club gets some money back off him. The rumour figure we paid was 1.5 million. If we can get a third of that, we'll be happy. When he left, I think even a tenth of that would have seemed a good deal for us. He was really unlucky with injuries and he just never really got going, really. It was unfortunate, but the feeling amongst the fans is that if we can get a fee for him, we'll probably accept that. I'm sure the club will have someone keeping tabs on him, and of course nobody's going to miss the fact that he's scoring goals in Scotland. But I think the perception among fans anyway is that we'll drive him up there if it becomes a permanent. What went wrong at Millwall? Nisbet's rehabilitation at the Den has been a gradual process, but the forward claimed last week to be feeling the fittest he has in his entire career. The striker's return of 5 goals from the last 7 matches certainly paints the picture of a player who is enjoying his football at Pittodrie. It's a significant change in fortune for the player, who has struggled to make an impression at the Den following his arrival from Hibernian in the summer of 2023. Ronayne said, we were linked with him the January before he arrived, so when Gary Rowett signed him in the summer window and we saw the highlight reels and the goals from his time in Scotland, we were hoping for the best. Obviously he was doing it in the Scottish Premiership, but in England, there's always a whole debate of how, the league up there compares to the Championship. He got off the mark early too, but it just didn't really happen for him at Millwall. He's got no service, really, I'd say. You look at the type of goals he's got at Hibs, and he just wasn't getting those opportunities, really, in our side. Ronayne believes Rowett's departure from the Lions and the subsequent arrival of Neil Harris's successor led to Nisbet's stock diminishing further. Questions about his fitness and attitude were raised during a difficult campaign last season, which culminated in the striker being left out of the squad for disciplinary reasons. Ronayne said, a lot of things were questioned about him by Neil Harris, including his attitude before the final game of the season. He was banished from the squad for the last game of last season against Swansea, along with Michael Obafemi, who we had on loan from Burnley. Harris did a team talk at the end, which the club put on social media because it was the last game of the season, saying, I won't have that at my club and I've set the standards there. So when everyone came back for pre-season training last time, he was still in the squad, but everyone felt as if he was just waiting for a move. It was Harris who approved Nisbet's loan move to Pittodrie in August. The Lions boss left the Den in December. His replacement is former Hamilton Hackey's boss, Alex Neil. However, Ronayne says the arrival of the Scot who knows all about Nisbet's qualities does not appear to have moved the needle at Millwall. The podcaster said, Alex Neil has said nothing publicly about him at all, Maybe the club will reassess it in the summer as he seems to be scoring goals, and he's obviously found a happy place at Aberdeen. Neil was only a couple of months in the job, but he's gone big on our Serbian striker that we signed last summer, Mihailo Ivanovic. And if you look for our options, we've got Josh Coburn on loan from Middlesbrough. And it seems like we're probably going to convert that to a permanent deal, and we're only playing one up front for most games. So if you think we've got 2 strikers there that we've put money into and value into, the likelihood is if the option came up to move Nisbet onto Aberdeen, we'd probably look to do that. So there you go. Press and Journal. Aberdeen, Aberdeen, permanent deal. Why not? Obviously, I think they are now 4th. I think they're obviously trying to qualify for Europe. If they do, they got a bit more money in their pocket. So that should help us with that. Now we're going to move on to this from FSS.rs, which is the Serbian FA's website. Football, Soccer, Serbia, Republic Serbia. Some pictures, really, mostly just pictures, from training with Ivanovic. The youth national team has begun preparations for 2 tests in Antalya against Bosnia and Herzegovina and Georgia. And you can see him. Where can you see him? The young national team of Serbia has done the first training after gathering before the 2 friendly matches that the players of the head coach Alexander Kolarov will play in Antalya. The generation preparing for the 2027 European Championship, which will be organised by Serbia and Albania. Boo. We'll have tests against Bosnia and Herzegovina on March the 21st, so Friday, and 4 days later against Georgia. And there he is. There he is. Wearing his Puma tracksuit for Serbia. And again, obviously, he's going to be one of the main stars of this under-21 team. As mentioned before, for the national team, he's probably like 4th or 5th choice. But for this team, he's probably number 1. And he's going to be a big star as they try and win the tournament, which is being hosted in their own country in 2027. So quite a way away. And then they've got some interviews with players, but no, I'm not going to talk about that. But there you go, just some nice pictures to show you. Lovely stuff. Now, I have to talk about, I didn't want to talk about this anymore, but it just gets more and more absurd. It just keeps going. So, you may have seen this, you may have not. Sky Sports have done a sit-down interview with Jean Phillipe Mateta about his horror incident against Millwall. And they say he speaks for the first time. Well, it's not for the first time, because a couple of days after, at the weekend, maybe Saturday, there was an article published in L'Equipe, which is a French football magazine. But I didn't mention that because, like I said, I don't want to talk about it. He gave an interview talking about what happened to him to a French magazine, or the French magazine, massive French magazine. The kind of interviews where, I think Anelka would go off and give an interview to this magazine and then be shocked when he came back to England and everyone had read it. It's like, yeah, people in this country can fucking speak French and they can translate things and republish them in English, which happened with the L'Equipe thing at the weekend. So then Sky have done an interview because they probably saw how well that magazine article for L'Equipe did, in that once the thing was written by L'Equipe, then all of the news media in England republished it, fractions of it, talked about it in English, and then it just kind of snowballed again. So we got Sky doing an interview. This was put up today at 5:15, right? Prepare yourself. I'm going to play it. It's a 4 minute 40-second interview. I just want to show you a little thing and see what you can see. You see it? Did you see that? Okay. What is he wearing on his fucking head? What is he wearing? He's wearing a sanitary towel. He's wearing Always Ultra. Like, bruh. What is this theatre? What is this theatre of the absurd? It's a charade now. It's a joke. It's propaganda. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We know because the Sun sent a paparazzi to take a picture when he turned up at training. And this was the little plaster that he had on his face. We've known about this. We knew this. I told you about this. I showed you this before. And then he turns up to an interview with Sky with this. Like, bruh, you crazy? Are you mad? Are you mad? But, to be fair, the words that he said are pretty chill. Yeah. This is, like I said, what I'm showing you now, because I don't want to show you the interview in case Sky big dickheads about it, and try and take the video down, or just restrict it or whatever, age restrict it, I don't know. But like I said, so once Sky do that interview, then other news media companies will talk about the Sky interview and publish their own articles, and that's what you got here on your screen right now. This is from bbc.co.uk. All of this is just from that Sky interview. They got quotes from it. So, yeah, yada, yada, yada. So what he said, in an interview with Sky Sports, Mateta said, Liam texted me while I was in hospital, and I told him, it's okay, it's football. He apologised. He was worried. But Mateta, Roberts' ban has been extended from 3 games to 6, but Mateta does not believe that there was malicious intent in the challenge and called the social media abuse crazy. Yeah, I don't think he woke up and thought, I want to cut off the head of JP, Mateta said. There's a lot of pressure, he wanted to do good, but too much emotion makes you do crazy things. It was just a mistake, you learn from it. And then they talk about other stuff, but, So, he, even though he's turned up wearing this, they let him put that on his head. And he went to the interview wearing this. I think he's a pretty decent chap. So, obviously, he is participating in the charade. But I think from his point of view, he's trying to get publicity for himself because he is scoring goals for Crystal Palace. And a lot of teams have noticed that and thought, Crystal Palace are fucking dog shit. Maybe if we sign him, he can score goals for us. Maybe more goals than he's scoring for Crystal Palace. And I think he's been linked with he's 27 years old, mate. This is like the last big move he's going to get, you know what I mean? So I think there was like a talk of like a £50 million move somewhere. I'm not sure if it's in this country or somewhere else, but, So he's trying to get some publicity, I think, in terms of building himself up, you know what I mean? So that's why he's, getting involved in this. But, Crystal Palace and, the letter that they sent, all that nonsense, it's just disgusting. But, what can you do? I didn't want to talk about it, but they just keep piling on the nonsense. They just keep piling it on. It's like they don't know how cringe they are. It's like, bro, we know the letter that you wrote. Some of it's been redacted, but it's on the FA website. We've seen it. You can't hide what you did. We know. We know. We know. We've seen. Where is it? We know. We know. Don't wear this, because we've already seen this. We know. You're full of shit. Anyway, on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.